What's up, guys? Well, my hand looks huge. Well, look how big my hand is. Okay, anyways, guys, alright, chapter 12. Edward, he got thrown into the landfill by Lolly. And he was just over all this pile of trash so much. He thought he'd never escape. And then, oh no, a little dog. He heard the rumbling of a little dog. Yeah, a little dog. So let's see what... Oh, jeez. See what happens. Edward did not have much time to savor the light, for the dog suddenly appeared above him, dark and shaggy, blocking his view. Edward was pulled out of the garbage by his ears, dropped, and then picked up again, this time around the middle, and shaken back and forth with a great deal of ferocity. The little dog growled deep in his throat, and then dropped Edward again and looked him in the eye. Edward stared back. "Hey, get out of here, you dog!" It was Ernest, king of the garbage, and therefore king of the world. Okay, so this is Ernest. Remember Ernest, the crazy guy that just thinks he rules the world? He's playing around in garbage all day. The dog grabbed Edward by his pink dress and took off running. "That's mine! That's mine! All garbage is mine!" Ernest shouted. "You come back here!" But the little dog did not stop. The sun was shining, and Edward felt exhilarated. He felt really happy. Who, having known him before, would have thought that he could be so happy now, crusted over with garbage, wearing a dress, held in the slobbery mouth of a dog, and being chased by a madman? But he was happy. The dog ran and ran until they reached a railroad track. They crossed over the tracks, and there, underneath a scraggly tree, in a circle of bushes, Edward was dropped in front of a large pair of feet. Boom! The dog began to bark. Edward looked up and saw that the feet were attached to an enormous man with a long, dark beard. "What's this, Lucy?" said the man. He bent and picked up Edward. He held him firmly around the middle. "Lucy," said the man, "I know how much you enjoy rabbit pie," Lucy barked. Yes, I know rabbit pie is a true delight of the pleasures of our existence." Lucy let out a hopeful yip. "And what we have here, what you have so graciously delivered to me, is definitely a rabbit. But the best chef in the world would be hard-pressed to make him into a pie." Lucy growled. "The rabbit is made of china, girl." The man held Edward closer to him. They looked at each other in the eye. "You're made of china, aren't you? Aren't you, Malone?" He gave Edward a playful shake. So this guy is going to name... He doesn't know that Edward's name is Edward. He doesn't know that his name was Susanna. He just finds it, and he's going to call it Malone. Okay? So now you know. So you guys don't get confused. It's kind of like a dog, like if you get a dog from a pound, it might have been named something different before, but you're going to name it what you want to name it, like Jasper. Jasper was originally named Moochie, but I got him and I was like, nah, I'm going to name him a Jasper. So it's kind of like that. "You are some child's toy, am I right? And you have been separated somehow from the child who loves you." Edward felt again the sharp pain in his chest. He thought of Abilene. He saw the path leading up the house on Egypt Street. He saw the dusk descending and Abilene running toward him. Yes, Abilene had loved him. "So, Malone," said the man. He cleared his throat. "You are lost. That is my guess. Lucy and I are lost too." At the sound of her name, Lucy let out another yip. "Perhaps," said the man, "you would like to be lost with us. I have found it much more agreeable to be lost in the company of others. My name is Bull. Lucy, as you may have summarized, is my dog. Would you care to join us?" Bull waited for a moment, staring at Edward, and then, with his hand still firmly around Edward's waist, the man reached one enormous finger up, and touched Edward's head from behind. He pushed it so it looked as if Edward were nodding his head in agreement. "Look, Lucy, he's saying yes," said Bull. "Malone has agreed to travel with us. Isn't that swell?" Lucy danced around Bull's feet, wagging her tail and barking. And so it was that Edward took to the road with a hobo and his dog. A hobo is a person without a home, you know, and a hobo usually kind of travels around. So here's what he looks like. Here's what Bull looks like. He's a hobo, so he's not going to be clean cut. You know, he's out living out in the woods and stuff, or, well, I guess anywhere. All right. Respond to them questions, guys. See y'all later.